Hello everybody and welcome back to Keep It Real, episode number 16 now, I think. We're starting to crack on, I feel good. Good getting back into this series because it is pretty enjoyable. Slowly enjoyable, I think is a good way to describe it. Now, first week of April, the finance repayment has just come out automatically as always, so that's about £1,500. We are starting to get very small amount of property maintenance now, and that's probably because of the ducks and because of the cows. Now, one thing I need to do before I get too carried away is of course pay the rent. So I'll do that the usual way, pop into the F12 menu, and I want to say, I almost added the money then, £800. Remove that money. There we go. Miscellaneous payment. That's the rent paid. So we're starting the episode on £10,211. So I want to jump straight into the truck and just head back on over to the yard really. We'll do the usual. We'll check in on the ducks. And I'll go through a couple of things which I've kind of changed or figured out since the last episode. So he's got to pull right out. Oh, he didn't. Amazing. So thank you for the comment. I did figure out how to fill this truck with fuel. You've actually got to open the cover before you can fill it up, which is great. That sounds super realistic. Suits the series. What it does do though, a little bit weird, I'll do it while I'm driving. It doesn't actually open a fuel cover, but it does open every single door. Like that. So I have to do that to fill it with fuel. A little bit odd, but not a problem. And also it's got quite a bit of a delay with it closing the doors again as well. There we go. Right. So yeah, we will do that. I do need to do that at some point because it's frustrating. Every time I get into it, I get that beep now and it is a bit annoying. Now, first of all, you might notice, let's stay in the truck, I have fixed the bridge. So I just downloaded a different bridge pack. I like this one actually. It's pretty realistic looking. I kind of made it with a couple of things. I made the actual bridge itself and I sunk it into the ground just so it looked kind of realistic. And then these are just random kind of decorative objects that you can place, which I just placed either side because I thought it looked quite cool. There's nothing more to it than that. Didn't cost anything, by the way. Basically, the price of the existing bridge, which the one that just kept moving, it's kind of covered a straight swap for this one, so I'm kind of happy with that. I have saved it, reloaded it, saved it, reloaded it, and each time that is in the exact place I've left it. So hopefully the mystery moving bridge won't be too much of a problem anymore. Now, I did say right at the end of the last episode, today's probably going to be the day where we get cows. And I would really like to get cows, but there's a couple of things, and I do want some advice on this, by the way. So if anyone knows, if you're willing to comment, you know, I love the comments anyway, but this cow barn doesn't produce manure or slurry, which is really annoying. I kind of wish I knew that, and maybe I should have tested it before I placed it, but it is perfect looking, but it isn't perfect in that respect, and that's a real shame because I was kind of relying on that to give us the free fertilizer, really. Now that, you know, I can get around it. There's a couple of ways I can get around it. I can simulate manure being generated. I can just add a small amount of manure. Maybe we can set some rules up and that would still give me that kind of ability. I'm thinking maybe in my head, each single cow gives you 100 litres of manure per game month or something like that. So the more I have, the more I put in. The only downside to that is it's a bit of a pain because I'm going to have to manually do that before each episode and kind of, yeah, have to unload it, I guess, from a trailer into like a fake manure pit. It's a bit annoying, that would be. The other option is I just buy a placeable one that you can buy it from and kind of simulate the cost of that manure because it charges you for what you take. Would probably be the equivalent of what it would cost in straw, maybe. Not sure. I'm not sure. And it's the exact same principle with the slurry as well, by the way. I can probably place like a placeable one which will charge us per kind of litre of slurry, which is the easy option, but it's extra cost when actually I wanted it to be no cost at all. But I don't want an unlimited supply, so I'm a bit stuck on that one. So yeah, if you're willing to give me a little comment, let me know what you think, because I don't know what to do on that one. I really don't. Now, I think everything should be going good up here. Should jump into that animal tab a minute. These should be doing okay. Ooh, no, they're not really, are they? They're at 100% now, but that's going to start dropping. They need energy food, they need moisture food. Now, I was recommended to download a mod which kind of supports MAIZE Plus, certainly for the amateurs like me who don't really understand it, but I haven't downloaded it. So I do need to do that. I'll probably get that ready for the next episode. So for a minute, I'll probably just buy some more of the kind of generic chicken or duck food just to top that up. So that's a definite today. 100%. I need to get that done. Now, just jumping back actually, because I know I'm talking quite a bit to start the episode, but I don't know what to do about a cow. I'm going to have to buy or lease a trailer to buy a cow. Cows themselves are quite expensive. I have been advised that I probably want to get one that's a little bit older, just because they don't start producing milk for quite a long time with MAIZE Plus and with the enhanced animal mod. But also it will die if I don't feed it, if I don't look after it, if I don't keep the health at a high amount. For example, if base game, I could probably just stick a load of hay in there and it would be absolutely fine. But with MAIZE Plus and the enhanced animal mod, it doesn't work like that. So I'll be spending all that money and it will just die anyway. So I can't actually rush into it. So I'm not too sure what I should be doing. I mean, do I pre-fill it? Do I pre-fill it with water? I don't know. I have downloaded a couple of mods though to suit this style, the very small kind of feed mixing mods. Maybe we can get some TMR mixes on the go, and at that point maybe we want to get cows. Or the easy option, but maybe the not so keep it real option, would be temporarily stick to base game and not MAIZE Plus until we get ourselves established, and then maybe put it back on again. So set ourselves, I don't know, a 10 episode rule where we don't actually have MAIZE Plus to get a head start. I don't know. I don't really want to do that because that sort of seems like the easy option, but at the same time the MAIZE Plus option might be an almost impossible option. I don't know, lots of things I need to figure out, and honestly, again, if you are willing to comment, I'd appreciate that. That would be good. Wow, look at these. Look at these. It shows us they're growing. Oh, that's amazing. I didn't think they would have started growing already. But I guess we are now 1 month on. I wonder, while we're here, did I do? Yes. Yeah, so I kind of knew that anyway, but you do. Where you get a wheel slip, you absolutely lose crop. Yeah, it must have been a little bit of wheel slip there. That's annoying. Yeah, great. It is great because this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be a challenge, and it certainly will be now. In fact, probably need to look at getting a better tractor at some point. So first things first, let's head to the shop, get some duck food, and we'll stick a bit of fuel in this on the way, now that I know how to do it. And then as I'm doing it, I'll kind of think about what I'm going to do, because how am I looking for this? Still at 5 pieces, yeah. So they definitely need that duck food. So that's the first thing. We just got to get on with that in a minute. And while I'm at the shop as well, I'll show you, I'll give you a little sneak peek into a couple of mods I've pre-downloaded. So while I'm making my way there, again, just talking about the roleplay story mode. I know I talk about it quite a bit, but this is my only chance to talk normally, I guess. But again, if you haven't seen it, I think most people have seen it by now, to be fair. Thanks for the comments. Thanks again from Tim, actually, who's kind of been giving me loads of advice about MAIZE Plus. But I'm recording this message now Sunday night, and I've just literally had a comment to say doesn't normally watch the kind of roleplay type things, but he's hooked on it. So that's great. It's nice to get good feedback like that, isn't it, really? Because, you know, I am just kind of a normal person, just trying something new and something a bit different. So that's great. But yeah, I hope if you are watching it, you're enjoying it. And the story at the minute, it is kind of, it's not only have I kind of stole some pictures of the odd character from EastEnders, it kind of almost is turning into like a EastEnders type series, isn't it, really? I don't know if I planned it that way. It just seems to be the way that it's going. But I do enjoy it. Now I feel too much pressure though. I need to kind of keep the story up. Yeah, keep up the drama, as Tim said. Anyway, what have we got here? The shop. Stuff there that's very interesting, but I don't know, will we ever get anything like that on this series? Like, ever? I don't know. The series may be finished before we even get enough money to go with that. So what I want to show you real quick is just a couple of things, and I don't know where they're going to be, but what have we got? Animals. First of all, I really like this. That's cool. So we need to look at that. 1,700 quid. And we need that for two reasons. I believed you could convert it and turn it into a slurry tank. Maybe that's not right. Maybe you have to buy a different oh yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's a bit of a pain. I thought it was kind of a 2-in-1 type thing, but realistically you probably wouldn't put water in something that you put slurry in. But that's good. I really like that. Suits the series perfect. So we will be doing that. Just jumping back to animals really quick, wherever that is. I also downloaded these and I haven't used them, but I mean, doesn't that look cool? So that's like a food mixer, quite a small one. However, again, suits the series, pretty cheap. That's the sort of thing we would lease, probably like a long-term lease. It's only £6,000. Preempting the price, it's £306 a lease. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. Now, it's a bit of a nightmare because there's only 2,500 litres, but that's pretty much going to be the sort of small handheld bale sort of size. So we can make that work. We can definitely make that work. Anyway, enough talking. Let's jump in and get some food for the ducks. I know it's here somewhere. Chicken food. 25 litres. Yeah, we're going to have to get that one because that's MAIZE Plus, isn't it? Okay, well, I've got a bit of money. Let's pile up. Let's really stock up on that. Now, by the way, once we've bought a front loader for the man tractor, and I'm pretty sure we'll attach a front loader, we can then start to buy pallets, which doesn't work out a huge amount cheaper, but it just works out a huge amount faster, and certainly not having to go all the way back to the shop each time. Now, let's jump in the truck, let's load up all of those bags, and then that's task one out the way. And going back to my original plan, by the way, I was gonna place a greenhouse. I wanted to start creating some sort of passive income. Where on earth are my bags? Okay, so I stacked them so neatly, it took me so long, I've skipped it. What stacking that is amazing. What I am thinking actually while I'm here before I drive away is I should probably get that water trailer, so I'm going to put back into the shop, because if I'm going to place a greenhouse, it's definitely going to need water. Now I'm hoping it's going to be a greenhouse which is going to need seed and fertilizer. I mean, initially that was my kind of plan with having the manure, but I do want one that does require a bit of work. I don't want it just to have water and magically produce a load of stuff in the background. So we are 100% though gonna need that. Now, do I buy it? It's only £86 to lease, but this is gonna be continuous, isn't it? Oh, it's massive selection of colours. Huge selection of colours. Honestly, white, a grey, a white, green. No, I suppose it does look a bit green, doesn't it? Right, we'll stick with the standard colour, because if I get the slurry version, I'll probably make that green. Right, I'm going to buy that 1700 because we're going to be using that a lot for definite. So hopefully that has spawned in the correct place. Yep. And hopefully it does actually connect to the pickup truck. It should do without any issues. And also I drove all the way here and I still didn't get fuel, did I? It's good. It's my goldfish memory again. Oh, that's really good. It does connect up. Bit of a weird animation there, but that works quite well. It's obviously designed for a tractor. So I need to get some fuel before I forget again. It is literally now pretty much right at the bottom of the gauge. And then I also need to try and have a think about where we're actually going to fill up with water, because that we need to know. Okay, right. Opened all the doors, opened all the windows to refuel it. And now all of a sudden at the bottom it comes up with refuel. Nice. Well, it's a nice little sound animation as well. Okay, so obviously I've got them all. You can see it's going down pretty slow in terms of price. That was £54 worth. I've got it so that it's got realistic refueling, so it kind of takes its time as well. Now 54 quid's given us a quarter of a tank. Let's stick another 54 in. If we can get it up to about half a tank, that'll keep us going for a minute. I do need to keep an eye on the water. On the fuel level, sorry, because I don't know how much these greenhouses are going to cost. And I may have to. That's about right, about half a tank left. Right, let's shut all the doors. Well, that explains why it's very slow to load. Got to wait for the windows to shut. Right, we'll head back to the yard. We'll give the ducks some food, so at least they are producing eggs slowly but surely. And then I'll jump into construction, and I'm just going to have a look at greenhouses. Now I keep calling it a greenhouse. It's not going to be a greenhouse, by the way. It's more of a kind of a garden on the floor. So this map has a couple of good ones built into the map. I've also downloaded an additional one which I've never used, but I've seen it in other YouTuber series and it looks pretty cool. So I've got two options. Not actually sure what they cost, so we'll find out in a minute. That's why I'm playing it safe with this fuel. Fuel's bloody expensive as well, and now I just put 100 quid in. I've only got half a tank. Man, it's almost as bad as real life. Right, we'll just pull up here. A bit further actually. Let's give these ducks a little bit of food. Right, hopefully that's opened the back. It has. But it's not gonna. Oh, it's because there's more straps on. Right, that should let me now. Good. Right, just throw a few of these in for the ducks. In fact, to be honest, we might as well just fill it up because slowly but surely it's kind of dwindling down that corn that I put far too much in. I believe, by the way, on other saves and other little tests that I've done, if I did turn off MAIZE Plus, these ducks through Enhanced Animal System require the usual, they need grain, or you can feed them with corn and lettuce, I want to say, and we could potentially produce the lettuce through this kind of greenhouse or this generator we're about to place. So yeah, I am very tempted to turn off MAIZE Plus, but I am very conscious this is meant to be a realistic series, so yeah, your thoughts would be really appreciated on that one. I do really need to get a front loader, because this is just mind-numbing doing all of this every time. I'm just going to pile the food up in here. Conveniently, there's some pallets there. I should be able to pick up that wheelbarrow. Yeah. I'm not using like super strength or anything, by the way. I think once it's empty, you can pick that up. Yeah, this is mind-numbing. I need to prioritise getting a front loader for that man, because I can't do this every time. I'm probably going to cut most of this out because it's just so boring. Okay, good. Right. Finally done. You have no idea how long that just took me. Nightmare. Right, let's close that up. Keep that dry in there. Great. Right. One job. Well done. In fact, let's, while we're here, jump to the animal menu and just make sure. Interesting that normally the chicken food gives you a bit of everything, but it's given me 0 litres of energy food. Now, they don't really need a lot of it. Hopefully the health will still stay at 100% because it's filled the food up, but it's not giving me any energy food back. I'm sure that's what I've been putting in every time, and it's normally been giving me a bit of everything. It's giving me everything else there. The moisture food, the protein food. I don't know. I need to download that mod because I don't understand MAIZE Plus. I haven't got a clue. Anyway, right, let's jump into here. Get my mouse going. There we go. Construction mode. So we want to go to production greenhouses. So, a couple of options. When you look at it from above, it's a lot bigger than what it looks, isn't it? It is a lot bigger than what it looks. This plot's a pretty decent little size. And do you know what? I also keep forgetting that you can get apple trees. In fact, let's look now. So yeah, this is actually part of the mod. It only requires water and it will produce apples, which is something that's unique to the map. And I do like to do that. Now, apparently we haven't got enough money, but obviously we have. Let's try again. There we go. But I'd need to try and find somewhere that doesn't require too much leveling, because it will make the land go a bit funny. But I do want to place a couple of these at some point, definitely, and they're probably going to be here. That's why I'm looking at this area. Just because there's already trees there, it would look nice, a little kind of like forest area. So, the greenhouse. How big is it? This is the one. This isn't part of the map, but this is really cool, by the way. I really like this one. Not that you can see it too well. Let's show you on a bit of flat land. Just looks quite realistic. I think once you put the right products into it, all of those little patches, they start to grow, or they animate that they're growing something. As standard, what does it require? Just does the 3 standard base game crops, which is fine, but it does require water, it does require seeds, and fertilizer or manure. It does actually require straw as well, which is interesting. Given that we can't put straw into the cows, maybe that will give us our replacement challenge. Okay, slight change of plan. I'm going to go with the actual map-based apple trees, actually, because I really want to do them. It's a feature of the map. And I'm not going to lie, I think it's going to be pretty tricky to install the greenhouse. There's too much of a slope on this piece of land. It's just going to be very, very difficult. And I did just off camera, then I'm not going to lie, didn't spend too much time, but I have got a quick save. Placed it where I thought would be an area which would work. It absolutely destroyed the entire bottom of this plot of land where the shed is. It just ruined it. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to have to rethink that. So yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to place one just here. I've turned the interactive zones on just so I can see where these pallets are going to spawn. Now I am concerned this is going to probably put it at a funny angle. I don't know whether or not I risk it and I free place it like that. We'll have to try it. pretty certain, I mean it's almost level, isn't it? I'm pretty certain that the pallet will still spawn there okay. Hopefully. But I think I'm going to put 2 of these down anyway, so maybe let's go for 1 there. And then 1 just a little bit further up. Like there. Yeah. I need to allow enough room, don't I, really, to get the water tank, to back that water tank up into those trees. I think that's left enough room. Ample room there for me to actually load the pallets as well when we do eventually get the front loader, which I have mentioned already, but that does need to be a priority. I think that's good. I think that's fine. Now I'm just going to very, very quickly do just a small amount of painting just to create myself some sort of little road, I guess, really. Now, which one do I use? I'm going to use the slightly darker one. Just create a really small little track just inside here. Now, up until this point, by the way, was all one recording, so I started it Sunday. Actually now, as of this very point, it's Monday evening. So I have stepped away from it, had a bit of a rethink about what I was going to do, and then come back to it. But I'm keen to get this episode out because I really, really do want some opinions, because I do appreciate them. They influence what I do a lot. And my biggest kind of thing that I'm not sure about at the minute is seriously the MAIZE Plus situation. Not because it's too difficult and I'm not up for the challenge, absolutely not. It's more because I think maybe it's too soon for that challenge. I don't know. If you were someone starting off with a bit of a small holding, would you, if you bought a cow or a couple of cows just to produce maybe a bit of milk for yourself, a bit of meat for yourself, would you honestly be concerned about buying clover bales of silage? Or would you just feed them some hay just to get the basics through? And that's my concern with the enhanced animal mod. If I do not follow exactly what MAIZE Plus wants you to do and feed them properly, they're just going to die. In real life, keeping it real, would they honestly die? I'm pretty sure cows can live off of hay for quite some time. I'm not sure. Maybe MAIZE Plus at this point is unrealistic. Please do let me know. I always like comments. I always say I like comments, but in this particular situation, I'm borderline kind of changing maybe some of my rules. So I would like some form of agreement. That would be pretty good. Right, anyway, let's just try and get this looking realistic. I'll give myself a little area just to reverse into. That looks cool, I think. That looks alright. Obviously I'm going to turn those floating markers back off again in a second, so that's fine. Hopefully the trees aren't floating. The easiest way I find to hide that, if they are floating, is to put a little bit of grass just around the bottom. Like that. Yeah, they do look like they're floating a bit actually. But that works. That should hide it anyway. Great. Right. So I've spent, probably over $3,000 there maybe by the time I've done the landscaping. But this is all sort of passive income, isn't it, for the future. Right, let's jump out of construction. Let's have a quick look, have a gander. Yeah, I like this. Look at that, that's cool. Just the fact that it looks a little bit different to the main pathway. Kind of off the beaten track. Up here, nice and tight. Turn those awful markers off. Let's do that now. Boom. Doesn't that look better already? Yeah, hopefully the pallet still spawns. It's going to spawn at a funny angle. For definite. And I could always level it a bit if need be. But in terms of realistic, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Cool. And I like that it makes it feel a bit darker around here. It creates like that barrier around the outside. I think maybe I'll put some more trees on this side eventually as well. And it'll create like a whole sort of orchard where you actually have to drive through it. That's going to look awesome. Right, so I have I mentioned I started this Sunday. It is now Monday, and I have pre-edited what I'd already recorded on the Sunday or yesterday. So I do know at this point we're probably at about, let's say, 28 minutes, maybe. So I'm just pretty much there ready to finish the episode. What I want to do is figure out where we can get some water. Now, although that's a bit of a stream running through this piece of land, it absolutely isn't going to be suitable for water. Whether or not it works as a water trigger, I don't know. It may well do, but I'm not going to do that. So, common sense would suggest I need to get down to this riverside somehow. We've been here before. I don't seem to remember that being low enough around the outside of that field to get into the water. Maybe here is a good spot. Anywhere else? Again, I'm pretty sure that was a bridge. And in all fairness, that's much further away from us than going to here. So we're going to head down to, I remember where this is. We did a contract in here, a grass baling contract, or hay baling. Maybe the second episode or third episode, so I do recall where that is. And I'm kind of hopeful. This wasn't a bridge, this was just a road through the river, if I remember. Almost like a deep ford. So we're going to head there. I reckon that will do it. Let's give it a go. Yeah, but at this point I think stepping away from MAIZE Plus wouldn't be because it's too hard. I think it's more because maybe it's not realistic at this point in the series. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would like it. Hey, you know, if sticking with MAIZE Plus is the way to go, because, you know, maybe it's not common to see people using MAIZE Plus on YouTube. Maybe that's a nice feature for me to continue to do. Right, okay, here we are. So yeah, this is definitely the place where we did that contract in that field there to the right. Potentially that may come up again soon, you know, and this time around we're going to want to keep the leftover hay bales. In actual fact, what I want to do is buy my own baler. Someone suggested it the last time round actually. Just seems like common sense, because then whatever's left in the baler as spare I can keep for the next time. Yeah, this is exactly where I was thinking of, so I remembered this quite well. Now, wow, is this deep? Do not drive too deeply. That's funny, isn't it? Because it is a road, yeah. I'm not going to risk it, because if it decides to stop running, you know, those big, the big thing for me, I guess, keeping it real was if the pickup truck kind of gave up the go then, I wouldn't drive anymore. I would literally have to lease out the equipment to tow it out. You know, I've got all of the chains. I'd probably have to drive the man tractor up here, and yeah, I'd have to try and tow it out myself, or pay, I think it was £1,000. Now it does feel from here, that is amazing. It doesn't give you any water trigger visually, but it does tow. Now obviously the fill limit's on, keeping it real, so we can only put 1,422 litres into this trailer. Now that, I'm assuming, is based on the pickup truck, or is it based on the trailer weight? I'm not sure. You would assume that because it's a water trailer and I've filled it with water, it should be capable of getting to 100%. No? I mean, is that just me? Is that not common sense? I would assume so. Maybe next time I'll drive down in the man tractor and see if the amount is the same. Be an interesting little test. In fact, we'll probably be doing that straight away. That's a weird little collision then out of nowhere. Yeah, we might do that straight away. So we'll unload this into one of the apple trees, and then we'll connect it to the man, make the same drive, and just see. If it's the same figure, then no worries. If it is a bigger figure, then we know that the power of the actual tractor or machine or vehicle itself does make the difference. So I made the track just about wide enough, which is good. And amazing. I genuinely thought I would have to reverse down the side there, which is why I made those little tracks, but actually it just unloads from here. So let's unload it onto the second one though. Don't know how much water it will take, by the way. I'm assuming all of it. Now at this point I'm going to jump into the menu. I think that's fair. Is this under productions? Guess it is. Yes, apple tree. So the second one is the back one. It holds loads. Loads and loads. 288 cycles per month. Interesting. What does it sell for? So it's going to take us 3 months essentially to get 1,000 per tree. So what are apples worth? Let's find them. Okay, right. So the grape processing unit will buy them for 1,100. And don't forget, this isn't on easy difficulty, by the way. That's just the way the map's set up. So we've just spent £1,500 per tree. So it's going to take us, let's say, 4 game months to make that money back. After that, though, it's free money. The water doesn't cost us a penny. So that's okay. It's a long-term investment. That is for sure. Right, at least I've allowed myself some room to turn around. Right, I'm just going to change over to the tractor just to see if it makes any difference. Given the tractor's got a lot less power, in theory, it should be less. But I don't know, we'll see, won't we? Okay, great, right, moment of truth. How much will it take now? If it's the exact same amount, which it is, I mean, is that just me? How bizarre. So this is a water tanker designed for water. That's its one and only job. It's not like a trailer which holds different weights of different grains or seeds because they weigh different amounts, don't they? This literally holds water. That is it. And the maximum fill limit is less than the capacity. Don't make sense to me. I don't understand that. Very odd. But it's the rules, so we will stick with it. So going forward, I'm not making this absolutely long, pointless journey in the man tractor, which takes 3 times as long just to get the same amount of water. Okay, we're nearly here. I'm sure, given how dark it is, you get the picture of just how long it takes to make that journey in this. It isn't quick. It isn't quick. In fact, it's 7:15. I don't mind, because I wanted once in a while to have to do little tasks, little chores, finish jobs off when it's dark, just like in real life, so that's cool. Right, let's have a quick look on here. Jump back to productions, there we go. So they've both got the same amount of water. I'm assuming I need to activate them now. So yeah, so they're slowly making money. It's going to take a little while before they actually make us the money back that we need, but cool. Maybe a little bit of a boring episode today, maybe? Don't know. We haven't done any major big jobs today. To be honest, I've probably spent most of the episode just talking. But it's one of those episodes that just needed to be what it will be. Things are looking good. Everything seems to be in order. Well, anyway, I think that's it. I think that's a decent length of episode. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. We're ending it on a real dark one today. Nice. Please do give me some comments. Let me know. As it stands, I'm probably thinking I'm gonna turn MAIZE Plus off. Maybe I'll set a little challenge for 10 episodes and then it has to go back on no matter what. If we're not ready, the animals will just die. Sounds a bit brutal, but keeps the challenge there. So unless I get any major kind of suggestions of why I should keep it on, I think I might pre-record the next episode with it turned off. At least then I can get a cow, probably just the one cow, but at least I can get a cow in, which potentially will start that whole breeding process off and start that milk process off, which would be amazing. And yeah, hopefully I'll get some good ideas in the meantime about what I'm going to do around the manure and slurry situation as well. That is frustrating. But there we go. It's all part of the challenge. Nothing is meant to be easy. So, until the next episode, thank you very much for watching. Thanks in advance for some comments, and cheers and gone.